Alright, so the top end on my 79 XL500 is started tapping pretty badly. Now, I did insure this thing. I started commuting on it. I got exactly 2 rides on it over 2 weeks, thanks to our lovely British Columbia weather. And over the span of those 2 rides, it has gone from fairly quiet to quite tappy. Now, the last time I rode this to work, on my lunch break... Okay, well, let's start off. Before I started commuting, I set the valves, everything was in spec. First ride, kind of near the end of the, as I was getting home after the first day of commuting, I noticed it was a little bit noisy. Thought nothing of it. By the time I got to work on the second commute, about a week later, it was quite tappy. So on my lunch break that day, I went through and I reset the valves again. There was a lot of slop in the intake side. I thought, that was weird. I started it up after doing all that, and it was immediately tappy again. And what I thought I saw while I was adjusting the valves on this intake side was the rocker arm kind of cocking up a little bit. Now, the lighting is terrible. I do apologize. But I just want to show how much slop when I pry up. You can probably barely see that, but there's a lot of slop. I'm suspecting either a worn out bore where the rocker arm slides over the rocker shaft, or the rocker shaft itself is worn out. I'm hoping it's the shaft only, because that's like 20 bucks on Bike Bandit, whereas a new rocker arm is 130 and out of stock, and on eBay they're like 150 bucks. We're gonna have to get the cylinder head cover off and see what it looks like when we get inside. What holds the rocker shafts in, I believe, I can see there's a pin inside to keep them from coming out, and they're held in also with one of the cylinder head cover bolts. So I'm gonna have to get the top mount out of the way. I think the coil can stay. There's a couple cables in our way, and then lift this thing off, hopefully. Alright, so sorry about that. I did know in the manual it said you have to remove the engine to pull the cylinder head cover off. I was really trying not to. I got frustrated. And again, the engine's not out, but all the mount bolts are out, and I just kind of dropped it down. I also ground a little bit off the top of the cylinder head so I could slide it out. Now, I was kind of right, kind of wrong on what I thought the problem was. I thought it was excessive wear, rocker arm to rocker shaft, but it's actually excessive wear, rocker arm to cam. You can see, let me set it down here. See just how cupped out and worn out that rocker arm is. See that? That little curve? That's what it's supposed to be like. And that's just how far cupped out it is. That's the intake side. This is the exhaust side here. It's pretty much the same story. Cam, I mean, I can feel a bit of a lip on the edge of the lobe, and the lobe also feels very cup shaped and worn out, so it needs a cam and a couple of rocker arms, which sucks because that's going to be expensive. But I don't know, I gotta think just how much I like this bike. It's clearly been worn like that for, I don't think that was all me. The wear was probably started because I've only put, oh well, I reset that. I only put about 210 kilometers on it. So maybe that was all me. I don't know. It makes me feel better if I say it was like that. But anyway. Alright, so it's about 2 weeks from the last clips you just saw, and I've just gotten into the pulling the rest of this thing out of the frame and looking at it. Now, obviously we had a oil starvation issue to the top end. And so I've got the jug here, and you can see this groove and the head stud here, as well as this port in the case that matches up with it. So oil comes up out of that port, which lines up there, travels down the slot and up the head stud. And of course I've already cleaned it all up, but I have some pictures on my cell phone. I'll try to put them up. So this base gasket appears to be 2 layers of green masking tape with a coating of silicone on either end. Well, you know, you coat it with silicone on either end. There is a little nub of silicone right here that was fitting into that oil port. The gasket completely covered this off, except for a hole here, or the gasket that they made, the green masking tape. And then this whole channel was partially filled with silicone, and then around this head stud was partially filled with silicone. So that's going to be our oil starvation problem that caused the top end to eat itself. Just use the right fucking gasket, guys. Seriously, like, I don't know who decided green masking tape coated with silicone would be a good base gasket, but it's not. And now I'm looking for top end parts. I've been pricing out new old stock stuff because I can't find any used stuff. Right now my eBay cart's at $483 for new old stock cam, $150 ish. New old stock set of rockers, $150 ish. $45 on each of those for shipping, and then $50 for a gasket set. Now, I was talking with a local cam shop about getting rocker arms refaced and the cam reground. I might still do that, but I noticed on this cam that bolt hole right there has been enlarged, filled in with, it looks like brass, and then re-drilled and tapped. And then this mounting ear at some point has come right off and been welded back on. So I don't know how much I trust to this cam. And you can see at some point, see how the head is all chewed up from, I guess, whenever that camshaft broke. So I still haven't decided. I haven't gotten a quote yet from the cam grinding shop, but you know, I don't know if I trust that cam. So anyway, hopefully there is an update somewhat soon. No guarantees though. Money's tight. This thing is definitely not a priority. So anyways, that's going to be all. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.